Hi, it's Dr. Doug Curtis.
And Lucy Curtis from Dyslexic and Unstoppable.com.
Today we wanted to talk about accommodations for your child with dyslexia, and specifically whether or not you should use the school system and have your child labeled with dyslexia for the school system. And then go through the school system with 504 plans or an IEP or something like that. Or whether it's better for you to go outside the school system. And I think there's advantages and disadvantages of both. With our child, Felix Alexander, we chose to go outside the school system. So I don't know if you want to just talk about that.
We decided that we wanted to go outside of the school because we wanted him to not miss having the same routine as everybody else in the classroom. And also we've noticed that both our children do so much better with one-on-one classes like swimming lesson and piano lessons. When they do private lessons, one-on-one tutoring, it goes so much faster. So we decided that for him it would be better to do outside of the school, and it really was.
Right. You caught him up very quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously one of the disadvantages of going outside the school system is the cost. It wasn't cheap. A lot of these school remedial systems can be quite expensive. On the other hand, there are resources online and other less expensive resources. The other disadvantage we had was that fitting it into a busy schedule with swimming and taekwondo and all those other things, trying to find a time when he could go to reading classes. So those are some of the advantages and disadvantages going outside the school system. Obviously, if you go through the school system, there are two different ways you could go. You go through a 504 plan, which is basically you get your pediatrician, for example, to give you a letter saying your child has dyslexia or some other learning disability. And then the school system has to make modifications for your child. Or you can do a formal IEP or individualized educational plan, in which case they'll do a whole planning and placement team and do an evaluation and go through special education. Obviously the big advantage with that is it's free. It's right there in the school system.
And if you go outside of the school, you're not labeled, so you don't get those special accommodations. And one of the big things that dyslexics need is time, like time for math facts. When it's time and like in 2 minutes you have to do so many, that's a challenge. And because we went outside of the school system, that was something that was difficult. But in the long run, I think for our situation, we did the right thing for him. And eventually he caught on and he was okay. But those are things that you can't have the two, you have to choose which one is better for you.
Right. So, and that's the advantage of going through the school system. Then they can have untimed tests or extra time for tests or other accommodations. So, there are disadvantages with that, of course. Like we mentioned, you get pulled out of class and miss other things. Some parents worry that the child maybe feel unusual or labeled in front of other kids. Most of the teachers allayed our fears about that because they said there's a lot of kids getting pulled out for speech or reading or writing or even math or other things. So kids are constantly coming in and out of the class, so it wasn't as big a deal for that. But that is another consideration. So anyway, these are just some thoughts. Obviously it's a personal decision you have to make in discussing with your child's teacher, with your child's pediatrician. So, let us know what you think. Did you go through the school system? Did you go outside the school system? What worked best for you? Drop us a comment below, or better yet, visit us at www.dyslexicandunstoppable.com.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.